Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, the finale of season 2.
Oh
We've
God,
made
I
it.
love
It's
this
so good.
show.
It
I've
was
said it
so
for the
good.
last few episodes, but it's short, it's sweet, and it always gives us
It
stuff.
delivers. So
Mm-hmm.
good. Before we get into the episode, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, which will be coming back for season 10. And this podcast will be coming back for season 7, 6,
That
7,
that
7.
sounds right. 7.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing Winter House season 2. So like we never end. Also,
All the things.
if you can't get enough of us, we start recording One Season Wonders, our favorite show, because Meredith and I just find a show that only had one season and we talk about it. And it's
Yep.
usually pretty bad because it got canceled after season. It's our favorite.
It does not have a following because it clearly got canceled, but we
But
will
whenever
follow
I
it.
tell people about our podcast, they always say that one's probably the one they're most interested in.
Well, I love it.
I'm just saying, go check it out. We've gotten one good message on it, and
So
we'll
give
take it.
us a second, please. Let us keep the hope alive.
Give us a chance. Also be sure to rate, review, and subscribe this podcast as well as our others, but mainly this one because you're listening to it. Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I crack each other up.
I
So
was
funny.
crying.
So funny. And you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. We recorded this one a long time ago. If you're listening to it not on our Patreon, wow, crazy.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but don't continue with that.
Like you're even hearing late that we have One Season Wonders coming up soon. Like by the time
I think it's already out.
Oh my God, you guys.
Could have had
Come on. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after show that we do when we go back and we watch old seasons like this one, because we still want to talk about Bravo news and probably go off on a tangent again. So if for some reason you can't get enough of us, that's the place to go. And also, we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dustin, Jackie, Casey, Kimberly, Cameron, Tiffany, Tracy, Gina, Jennifer, Kelsey, Mariah, and Sarah.
Woo-hoo.
Oh my God. Remember when we didn't have any and then we had one for a long time and now we have way more than one?
We got a whole crew that brings us happiness.
If this is as good as it gets, I'm like okay with it.
This is peak love. I'm thrilled.
I'm peaked. And then I'm peaked. I'm gonna start saying that. And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back for live shows, you get to give us your thoughts, questions, concerns, honestly, whatever you want to say. And we legally have to talk about
Every
it.
time you say we legally have to,
we have a lawyer that listens.
We have a binding contract with you guys that we have to read them.
But in case we need to get out of it, we do have a lawyer. So like legally we need to answer, but
he only listens to our pre-shows.
But we could like let him know. He's fine. He's fine. Sometimes he leaves us questions too. Speaking of, we have a patron of the episode, which is also on our $5 tier. And this week it's our favorite lawyer. It's Chris.
I love that for him. I'll make sure
the finale it's Chris. Hi, how you doing, Chris? I feel like he knows me better than my own parents know me because they don't listen to the podcast.
He did recently comment about how your mom was on that one pre-show.
Oh my God.
Through the phone.
Yeah, she was just like, hello, everyone. And then
so next time because I leave St. Louis here soon. Next time I come back and I'm here for a stint, I'll get resident lawyer on the pre-show.
Actually, last episode we recorded, my mom was texting me like, can I come get something in your room? Because I was home.
Oh yeah, I remember
did you see me keep looking? I was like, oh my God. Because they not only need to grab something, it was my sister and my mom that appeared.
Oh my God.
They need to grab like drawers, like plastic drawers. And I was like, so they moved all my shit off of it. And I was like, the fuck? That's why I kept looking.
This is the moment, of course.
You never know what you're going to hear on the podcast, you guys. You probably hear them.
This is why people think we're 13-year-olds because we're constantly with our parents.
I forgot about that message. That was awesome. That was the best compliment. That's it. That's all I have for the Patreon. But you guys, I have a soda.
Oh my God. I'm
my
drinking wine. We're mixing it up for the
prebiotic.
finale. But yeah, you're drinking healthy shit.
That's just because all I did was eat at home and I feel unhealthy. I don't think my pants fit anymore after this week at home.
That's right. I hope you enjoyed it because you deserve it.
Deep dish pizza never
Ooh,
fails.
mwah.
I mean, it fails your health. Don't eat
but really brings that happiness.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's get into this episode. Here we go. Previously on this season of Summer House, it was a crazy summer. Lindsay had her hot hub summer. She's single. She had to deal with Everett for a little bit, but dumped his ass at that coffee shop, left his ass crying, girl. And is back trying to get with hot trainer Nick. Lauren wanted to get back to Carl at the beginning of the summer and really pushed for it and really tried, but it didn't work out. Who saw that coming? Mostly because Ashley, her twin sister, showed up and shot that right down through a watermelon at Carl's feet.
Yep.
No fucks.
Gave Lauren her backbone back.
So then Carl's mom came to visit, and after a very hard summer for his mom, she's getting divorced. He decided he wants to be a better man and be someone his mom would be proud of. But Steven's not very proud of Carl because they have some awkward tension happening because Steven told his secret on camera, might I add, that the best head Carl's ever received was from a man. And you know what? It's 2022 and we don't give a fuck anymore. No, but
not a bombshell. But Carl also then told Lauren that Steven lied, and I feel like that was a bigger bombshell.
And it wasn't Steven's secret to tell.
No.
Speaking of Steven, though, he went back to see his family in Alabama, tried to talk about his lifestyle of being gay, but they do not accept it.
Nope.
And they fully don't want to hear about it. But it's okay, kind of, because Steven has a summer fling that might turn into a boyfriend named Travis. Amanda and Kyle enter the summer house as a couple, and it was okay for a long time, but then not okay for a really long time because they fight all the time. So they're trying to go drink for drink now, but Amanda, of course, couldn't hang.
Could not handle it.
We left when Kyle left her in a bed, absolutely belligerent, to go out. So,
man, I mean, thank God for all this surveillance footage, because maybe a producer's watching her.
Yeah, honestly, at least she's not going to die, but not a good idea.
Not a great boyfriend moment.
We start out, there's no intro. We don't get our, we gonna stop.
Oh, you're right. But did it give us previously on last episode? Or not previously, I'm sorry. To be continued. I just checked my notes.
I think so, maybe.
Either way.
I don't know. So 4 hours after Kyle left Amanda, it's Sunday, 3 a.m. Amanda is still in bed. Everyone else gets home. Everyone except Kyle.
Dun, dun, dun.
He let absolutely loose tonight.
I love how they say he just wanted off his chain.
Yeah, it's kind of offensive, right?
Well, they act like
poor baby Amanda.
Amanda's like some horrible person who like won't ever let him leave the house.
Yeah, right. Okay, not just me.
Not just you.
That. Okay, great, love. So then Kyle does get home. That I also wrote down he gets home at 3 a.m. So I think
it was 3:50. So he like just was slightly trailing behind.
Here it is, 3 a.m. Lindsay and trainer Nick fall asleep next to each other.
Also awkward. Not having
sex again.
Nothing. I was pissed. But Lindsay does say later, like, he wants to take it slow. And I had to be reminded of that. Like, he did tell her he doesn't want to sleep with her.
He set his boundaries up. Yes. 'Twas fine. And then Amanda wakes up and burps for a second. And then you're right, 3:50, Kyle gets home. He finds Amanda in bed. I don't know if Amanda was mad or tired / drunk at this point because she doesn't answer him when he's like, "Hi, baby." So I was like,
I
"Ooh."
also was shocked. He like was talking to her. I feel like if I went out and kind of knew she might be mad, I would change and slither into bed so quietly and just lay
Slither
there.
into bed.
I would not make my presence known as little as possible would I make my presence known.
Yeah. So I was like, is she still asleep or just ignoring him?
You know
Whatever.
what? I think it's like one of those things where you kind of wake up and you're like, if I start talking, I'm gonna actually wake up.
That's true. Solid. Solid. So Sunday, 11 a.m. Hot trainer Nick kisses Lindsay, promises to call her later.
He's fully dressed and leaving. I was
Yeah,
like,
he's out.
dude.
He's got to go train.
I guess.
Kyle wakes up in his clothes from last night. And then little Steven gets home from
From an
his
away
night
game.
adventures.
Love.
He slept on an air mattress with Travis.
A twin air
okay.
mattress. I was like,
insane.
too small.
You must really like him. Yeah, despite everything that happened with his parents, Steven has never felt more comfortable in his sexuality.
Yay!
We love
this brings me joy.
Love a gay prince. So then
a gay queen, because remember his queen outfit from
true.
old Steven, the only one who can rock that what's it called, that wig, that curly wig.
I call Will from Stranger Things a gay prince, but this is a gay queen. You're right.
He's a gay queen.
So Lindsay tells everyone that Nick wanted to take it super slow, so she did not have sex, but they're just gonna be friends. Maybe one day that'll change, but for right now, she's not looking for a relationship. After what happened with Everett, fuck no.
Yeah. At the pace Nick and her are moving, like it'll take him 30 years to really make out.
Forever. Kyle and Amanda are still in bed. Kyle's very hungover, and Amanda tells him he probably shouldn't have been out till 3 a.m. But then asks if he had fun, and he says he did. And Amanda's not mad because they joke around.
They're like laughing. I was shocked to see her so happy, and I'm kind of annoyed that like editors can just produce something into being so dramatic and then it just kind of flops at the beginning of an episode. Like, don't make this a big thing if she's just gonna laugh the next morning. Like, you already know what happened.
Yeah, she was not at all mad.
No, I don't need her to like scream and fight, but I wanted her like to say some shady comments.
Some drama.
Yeah.
Everyone else is talking about how great Kyle was last night because like fuck Amanda, am I right?
Which she also, they're in bed like talking about how like he had fun and she like is happy for him with that. I don't think Amanda holds him back.
I don't think so either. I think she just gets mad when he ignores her blatantly.
Yes, and then
he basically says
at her, or like if she addresses it, he like yells at her about other stuff, or they just always get in fights and he's so mean.
Yeah, and he's the one that puts this narrative out of like, oh, Amanda doesn't let me have fun.
Yes.
Which I'm sure pisses her off.
I think she's always allowed him to have fun, but I think there's like, I'll say a limit to it because he does get like really sloppy and that's annoying to take care of. And none of these friends ever have to take care of it. Which in theory, this is why I've said Amanda shouldn't take care of him and she should just let him sleep on a couch with a hand and a bag of chips.
With a bag of chips. Okay, so Amanda thanks Kyle for taking care of her. And he said he tried, but then ditched her to go out. And she like laughs. And then this is when Kyle realizes that Amanda does love him and doesn't want him to change, but wants him to show up for her, which is like the bare minimum.
Yes. No, but like this is exactly what I think he finally gets it. And I wonder if, because he says this in his interview, I wonder if he's realized this now getting out of the summer house.
Maybe and then watching the show and being like, oh.
And they probably have talked about it a little bit more since they've left the house, that I hope he now truly does understand this, because I don't think he got it this summer.
I don't either. Okay, so now it's time to leave. We go back to New York City. A whole week goes by. Nothing happens this week that we need to know about.
Right by.
Don't even need to talk about Friday because we pick up Saturday at 2 p.m. Amanda and Carl show up at Kyle's car. We're going to the Hamptons for Labor Day. It's the last weekend. And so let's talk about what happens in Kyle's car. We talk about how other Lindsay is coming and Carl's very excited. He's the only one because we're not.
Yep. He also calls her a warm body and
Yeah,
nice.
rude. Whoa.
Even Kyle was like, whoa, a warm body.
I almost spit out my drink. It was horrifying.
I was shocked.
And they're gonna go straight to the beach for dinner. The Workuses are gonna set up with Brad.
Can't
And
wait to meet
then
him.
so Kyle also talks about he thinks that there's gonna be a lot of intensity with the Workuses and Steven, but maybe Brad will bring that down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can't believe the fight he had with Ashley at dinner about his relationship. Never forget, Kyle was like, "Stop talking about us fighting," and Ashley was like, it's happening right in front of us," even though Ashley is very intense. So.
Well, they gave us that flashback, and I was like, this wasn't that crazy. I don't think she said anything crazy. I think she was defending the house, saying, "What? How are we the problem?"
Like, oh yeah, because I forget Kyle said our relationship is fine as long as like you guys aren't
stay out of
here. As long as you're not fucking here, we're perfect.
Which I do believe that like the house can affect your relationship and your perception, but that's not solely on them. Like Amanda got so upset last week because she heard people talking about it. Like, to be honest, Amanda needed a backbone in that situation. Like,
agreed.
People are going to talk about you. Like, let's just be honest about it. Like, everybody talks about everybody at some point. Nobody's perfect, especially when you live with people. How are you not going to talk about people fighting?
I don't know, but listen, if I have to get in a fight, I want the Workuses on my team, not against me.
I agree.
Crazy.
I actually think they're excellent in arguments. They do try to bulldoze people, but I would bulldoze them right back.
They just never shut up, so they like win. And you're
they're like the yappy dogs that beep, 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 beep.
Speaking of our two favorite yappy dogs, we go to Ashley, Lauren, and Brad's car. It's just like old times. I imagine when Ashley's dating Brad, it's the three of them.
I
totally
think they got married right after college, so I bet they even were married, but it sounds like they both used to live in New York, and he would go to the Hamptons every summer too.
Yeah, he lived in New York too. Very fun. I feel like the three of them maybe lived together. I feel like the three of them in college would have sleepovers together.
No. Okay, this is getting really weird.
I'm just kidding. But I do think like Brad would be like, "Hey, Ashley, should we go grab lunch?" And she'd be like, "Yeah, I'm bringing Lauren." And he'd be like, "All right, fine."
Yeah, I think that happened. I wonder if Kyle, Brad, like that, if Brad was ever with some of these people in a summer house.
I don't know, because Kyle knows Brad.
Yeah. So like the summer before
maybe
they filmed, the summer before the first season filmed for Summer House, I wonder if Kyle and Brad were in the same summer house.
Ooh, I would love. Okay, but yeah, so Brad here, he can handle two Orcuses. He talks about it. No one else can like him. He's the dude.
Man, he's the OG.
We talk about Kyle and Amanda fighting. We even see the fight that they had about that water. Who kicked her over the water?
That is like so dumb the further we get away from it. To be honest, at this point, I'm like, Amanda, why did we even bring this up? I would have just been like, he's so hammered, walk away.
That was my favorite fight. But basically the Workuses see all the bullshit in that relationship. So I'm sure that there's gonna be a fight. Let's see. It's Saturday, 5 p.m. The Workuses and Brad are at the beach building a bonfire. Brad's in charge of carrying all the heavy shit.
Obviously.
Fuck you, Brad. I'm just kidding. I love Brad.
That's what happens when you're the only guy here first. Yeah, you should have timed it better.
Two Workuses, go figure that out.
Yeah, seriously.
But they set up a full seafood feast. Brad's gonna build a fire because he's all chilly. He lives in California. He's not used to this anymore.
No.
Lindsay, Amit, Steven, and Danielle show up, and then Amanda, Kyle, and Carl. Danielle describes Brad as nerdy and older, which I was like, that's not bad. Like, that's not like bad.
I guess, but I was like, damn, a little harsh. I thought Brad was probably the same age or similar to Ashley and Lauren.
He might be like a little older, right?
I don't know.
I think he
also just looks older than probably his age is.
I think he looks
like such a dad.
He's probably a fucking adult. Okay. These people are not always adults. Danielle, when's the last time you had a job? Am I right? I'm just
so mean. You're just kicking her when she's down. That's all right.
I know that was mean. We've all had hard spots. I'm sorry, Danielle. Okay, so Kyle asks if he looks like a massive douche with that sweater around his shoulders.
God.
And yeah, he does.
Is he from Vermont growing up?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Stowe, Vermont, if you want to be exact.
No, that's where they go skiing.
Oh.
I don't think they're from there.
Oh, well, he's from Vermont, I think. He loves to ski.
What a little
He's
East
a
Coast.
douchebag.
He's a little New Englander.
Danielle, she got a new job.
Yeah,
she's gonna start it next week.
Leave her alone.
Brad hasn't been to the Hamptons in 2 years. And then we're gonna go around and review our summer goals, everyone. Are we ready for it?
Totally forgot they set these. And my whole mind went blank and I was like, oh my God, I'm so stressed. I cannot even remember what they said.
I hate all of this. So I don't even like doing goals for work, let alone for summer.
Because of everything that's happened, everything they say then gets pointed at each other about different stuff. And I'm like, oh, why are we ending the summer like this? It's
all just bad. Okay, so Lauren, her goal was she didn't want to ruin her Monday, or she didn't want to let Monday ruin her Sunday. Yeah. And she wanted to have fun. So she did it. Amit wanted to be zen. He did that.
No, if you live in this house, you're never going to be zen.
He barely was in the house.
That's true.
Never was in the drama. Steven only wanted to care about people who care about him.
Like, oh God.
Weird.
Again.
Weird. Was it last summer that Steven's like, I don't want to set a goal. This is like if I'm 5. Do you remember him saying that?
I kind of do.
I think it was last summer, but
this was a dig at Carl. Remember, Carl was
really bad,
really drunk at that party, being a dick to Steven.
Horrible. Lindsay wanted to pass. Oh, that's right. They did it at the dinner. I remember them. Lindsay, her goal was to pass the torch of the summer house couple to Kyle and Amanda.
So funny. This was the most funny, I'll say, targeted one, because it's just like, it was not malicious when she did it, and she still isn't malicious about it, but it's like, boy, did you pass that torch, because they really started the Everett Lindsay type screaming towards the end.
It wasn't malicious. Mm-mm. And also Kyle gave her such a hard time that she can give Kyle a hard time.
He was like cheeky without being mean.
Yeah. So then Kyle wanted to find a balance between fun, work, and being a boyfriend, which the workers shade him and were like, oh, didn't do it.
I don't think he did either. I think everybody else could make arguments for themselves about their thing. Kyle, come on, you completely failed at this.
It clearly didn't happen.
Nope.
So then this starts the drama, because Kyle says that their problems happened because of the house, not because their relationship was bad at times. And then the workesses bring up how Kyle hated the couple last summer in the house. So now he knows how it feels, and like now he's the problem.
Ashley says, like, you were so vocal last year about Everett and Lindsay
which
fighting.
is kind of true.
I'm happy that they said this, because I was thinking about that last episode at the family dinner, like, type, I'll say, fight. That Kyle's the first one to yell and stomp his feet about something going on. So it's like, now that people are a little upset that you're fighting, you don't want people to talk about it.
Well, he's the first one to point out when people are infringing on his fun.
Yes.
But he doesn't like to hear that he infringes on other people's fun.
I don't think he believes that he could ever. So it's like, you're just making that up. You're just trying to cause drama. You're just the Workus twins and Steven stirring up the mess.
Well, the Workuses are still stirring, because they say that Kyle and Amanda scream in front of everyone, so it affects them. And then Carl gets into it and he sticks up for Kyle and Amanda. And then everyone goes at Carl and Kyle tries to stick up for Amanda, because now Amanda's crying. I didn't even hear her try and get in this argument.
Well, at one point, Kyle starts talking for Amanda, and Ashley says, you never let her talk. And Amanda's sitting there like tears, and she's like, well, it's really hard to talk up over people. And I'm like, okay, but to be honest, if you have something to say, then freaking say it. You have to know that these two are bulldogs. So like, somebody just needs to say, shut up and let Amanda speak. I was
like, Amanda, I'm not even here you trying to speak in this combo. I just saw
she wasn't really trying to speak to the group. She was like,
she just started crying.
Like saying that to like Kyle.
But
listen, if you can't speak up for yourself,
you can't cry about it.
You can, but like, don't be
no.
Like, you can't really hold that against other people. Like, people are just going to talk. So at some point, you got to be able to take the floor if you really want to say something.
Then Carl starts getting mad because he says that they're bullying him.
Oh my God.
Yes, say it louder, Carl. We love a good bullying drop.
I love that because I don't know who was sitting to the right of Carl, like we were looking.
Danielle, I think.
Somebody goes.
Because it was Danielle and Kyle.
Somebody goes, come on, like, we're not. Just because like everybody like says something to you doesn't mean we're bullying you. And I agree. I think the bullying term in reality TV has gotten so freaking out of control.
The point of reality TV is to argue.
You can say people are ganging up on you, but that is so different than bullying.
That's different from bullying. Yeah.
Like, come on. Just because three people are on a different side from you does not mean they're bullying you. That means you're having a disagreement and there's a different amount of numbers on each side. So and to be honest, you're probably wrong then.
Basically, it's Carl, Kyle, Amanda arguing with Steven, Ashley, and Lauren, and then Danielle, Lindsay, and Amit just trying to
and Brad.
And Brad. God knows where Brad is right now.
He's cut out of the frame, let's be honest. He was told to like sit on the edge.
He's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
He's like, there's you know what? I forgot a bag in the car. Let me go get it.
No, looking at Brad, he's the type to like start talking to the sound guy and be like, what's up, dude? How long have you been
doing him this? And Amit are probably having a whole conversation to the point where a producer probably had to step in and be like, hey, the audio's a little fuck up. Yeah, you're interfering with the fight here.
Get out of here. So then this is when Steven says, you know what? Sometimes people aren't meant to be friends for the rest of their lives. And that swiftly ends beach night.
Ooh. I mean, it is true. Like, not everybody needs to be friends forever.
Well, that's so sad. So then we all leave.
I'm happy this is not our last night. There's times to fix this, but horrible. I think this needed to happen for these people's friendships to be like, basically, fuck you all to everybody say it to each other and let's move on. We got it all out now.
Yeah. So we head back to the cars. Carl in his car with Amanda and Kyle is kind of going off on a tangent and brings up how Steven doesn't work out or have a six-pack. And Kyle's like, I don't know how
that does not relate to this argument.
Cool.
Yeah, I appreciate Kyle saying that. He's like, that means nothing. Yeah. Also, this car split cracks me up. It is 5-3.
Yeah, everyone else went in with the Workuses and Brad.
Yes. Well, I think it was the Workuses, Brad, Danielle, and Lindsay, and I have no clue where Amit went.
He called himself an Uber. He's not dealing with
Let's be honest, Amit is half on this show.
He doesn't want to be in the drama.
No.
So it's Saturday, 10/17. House is super awkward. When all that shit was happening, Steven missed a call from his mom. So now he's like a little nervous, but he's not gonna call her back. Because you know, it's like he's not in a good mood. And this is the first time he's heard from her since Alabama. So definitely doesn't want to deal with that right now.
I'm curious what
I know I want the drama. But Brad's ready to go out. Brad is ready to, what do they say? Rip it. Rip and tear.
Good Lord, that he is old. Never mind. I take it back, Danielle. You're right. Spot on.
Oh my God, stop. Leave Brad alone. I lost my spot. I was looking for rip and tear so badly. Oh, here.
What?
So Kyle can't believe how dumb this fight is. He's super upset, but now it's Saturday, 11 p.m. and the rest of the house is going to go out. Carl's a no-go and neither are Kyle and Amanda. So house is split.
You know what? For the best, I think some people just need to have some fun and blow off some steam and then like, let's regroup for tomorrow.
Yeah. The rest of the house seems to have like a really fun time though. So then it is 3:46 a.m. Crew gets home. Steven and Lauren sleep together because Brad and Ashley got the master.
I'm shocked they gave up that big bed. If I was sleeping with a friend, I would request the larger bed because you two can cuddle.
Yeah, but Lauren loves Ashley and Brad. The couple that can get the master, because remember, Amanda and Kyle couldn't get the master.
Very true. Very true.
So it's Sunday, 9 a.m. People are starting to get up. Kyle smells bad. He has an odor, which
Oh, good
just,
God.
and Amanda just laughs and he's like on top of her. I'd be like, excuse you,
I'm
get
like,
your
get
odor
the
away from
fuck
me.
off of me.
Lindsay wakes everyone up. Steven's naked. Brad's making breakfast.
Yum. I
Brad's good
love
for
having
one
Brad
thing,
here.
and it's fried eggs. As far as
Not
I can
two
tell.
thing, or he can cook one thing, but he does so much for this house that they do not respect him for, in my opinion. He's cooking and he carried all the shit. Let's not forget he's the mule of this house now.
That's true. He's ripping and tearing, sober and drunk. Kyle and Amanda, or Kyle tells Amanda he knows that they haven't had much one-on-one time together, but he's gonna take her to a cute little Italian spot.
I love this.
So Sunday, 12:08, we go to Dopo Italian. Summer absolutely flew by, and Kyle apologizes for putting Amanda through the ringer, and he knows he lacks self-awareness. Shout out for being aware enough to know that.
Yeah, way to know that buzzword from therapy.
So Kyle has always known Amanda is super patient and understanding, but he really tested that this summer. But they're stronger now than ever. And to show her that he loves her so much, he booked her a freaking flight to Greece.
I mean, okay, few things to break down here. One-on-one time, incredible, Kyle. Literally all Amanda wanted this summer. I bet if he would have like gone on dates with her, let's say for like even a coffee run in the morning before most of these parties where Kyle just like went MIA, I'll say,
her.
I think Amanda would have been a little bit less upset. And then he has that self-awareness to actually admit his faults
And apologize.
yes, and say that he knows she's so patient with him. Like he acknowledges that she has been upset, but she still has like continued on with him and loved him anyways is incredible. And then something fun, a trip, which I hope this is just one-on-one. Like this is incredible. I'd be so happy.
I'm obsessed. I would put up with all of Kyle's shenanigans if I got a trip to Greece.
I don't know if I could put up with everything, but this would help soften the blow.
It would help a lot. So Phoenix must also be doing really well, was my other thought here.
I guess. But also Amanda saying you sometimes or her saying that you have to take a step back to take a step forward. I was like, you don't, but I'm happy you guys can take a step forward after you've taken a step back.
Shout out. I love. So Amanda's super happy they're going to Greece. Yeah. So now it's Sunday, 1 p.m. The house is unpacking boxes. We're going to set up for a party. Kyle and Carl talk about how there's a divide in the group, but you know, Carl and Steven is the real divide in the house, and he knows there needs to be a conversation. And it is hard for Carl to move on, but we're going to try. And then a giant grill gets delivered that I can't stop but think about all the time.
Oh my God. You know what this reminded me of?
What?
Across from our work, whenever we worked together, there was that fitness place and they had that luau party. Did you go to that? Back when you could go to the fitness place for free for a month.
No,
and they would have parties on the roof.
Went.
Yeah, it was. This reminded me of that. I was like,
amazing.
Give me all the rice with the pineapple in it. Give me the pork being roasted, the whole pig. I'm in.
Yeah, so we're doing a luau, and Fly By Midnight, which is a band, is here to perform. So we're going full out.
I love how epic this end of summer party is.
Amanda and Kyle look like Hawaiian tourists. Lindsay's ready to fuck the entire band, which like support my girl. I would too. These
my God
guys.
Her and Danielle are like sitting there watching sound check. Like,
Steven is doing a face mask to get ready for Travis. And Lindsay keeps staring at this band. I think she's gonna chase him right out the door, but I absolutely support.
She deserves it. After that Nick weekend last weekend, she like all she wants is a good at minimum a good makeout. Like that's how I feel like withdrawn she is from like a good guy. Nick, we don't want someone who can't kiss us. At minimum, you need to kiss us.
Minimum. So now Sunday, 4:13 p.m. Guests start to show up. Danielle's talking to the lead singer / guitarist of the band.
Yes.
Other Lindsay is here. Neither of us.
I'm just like, she's just so boring. Even her outfit was boring.
She's always so, I get, she's a breath of fresh air, as Carl would say, but she's just that. She's just like
air. That's it. Boring, lifeless. I guess it gives
yeah.
life, but like you can't see it. It does nothing visibly for you.
Agreed. Steven is waiting for Travis. Everyone's all sad that this is last weekend, but that's okay because Amanda and Kyle are ending the summer as Mr. and Mrs. Send It.
I love it.
Also,
They started off that first party fun. They look like they're ready to commit and have a fun time this time. And
yeah.
spoiler alert, they actually party together and I'm hyped for them.
Oh, I love it. But also, do they just buy a piñata and fill it up for themselves?
It seems like it.
Like no one else gets this piñata.
I don't know about that because Carl and Kyle are the ones who hung it. I bet people just forgot about it and they just drunkenly did it.
They're like, whatever.
I love it. It's filled with candy and alcohol. The little shooter bottles.
They're two favorite things.
So cute. I'm just disappointed I don't have any of this.
So Travis is here. He is literally all red on his skin. I don't know if he's blushing or sunburned.
Oh, I didn't even notice, but I
So
bet
red.
sunburn.
Carl introduces other Lindsay to Ashley and Brad, and then Ashley tells Brad, like, it's summer is fine now because Lauren and Carl aren't together.
She acts like well, I think it's fine for her now because the Amanda Kyle drama does not really affect her like the Lauren Carl drama did.
True. Very true. Okay, so Lauren meets Kyle's friend Pace.
Love.
And she's immediately like, yeah, I'm about to go to Greece. You should come. Oh my God. And Ashley meets him and is like, you want to come to Greece? And Brad meets him and Brad's like, are we brother-in-laws?
I mean, Pace is like, I guess I have the whole damn family at this rate.
Pace is going to Greece.
It would be kind of weird to like flirt with a girl and then basically the same looking girl walks up and you're like, oh, now I have a whole family to meet. Yeah.
You're like, not only is there a twin sister, but there's basically like a protective brother type here.
This has a lot of pressure for like just flirting for the last.
And they're inviting me to Greece. And I'm probably hammered.
And I'm kind of interested in going, is what I would say.
Yeah, I'd be like, are you buying the ticket? Because I'm in.
Do you want to split the ticket 50-50? We're sharing a bedroom, obviously.
Do you want to just Venmo me for your troubles? I got this. Danielle and Amanda then talk. Danielle feels really bad about last night. Amanda expresses she just felt blindsided, didn't realize everyone had these feelings about her and Kyle's relationship and how it was ruining the fun in the summer house. And Danielle apologizes and says it came from a good place of like loving and caring for Amanda. And I appreciate this.
I do too. I think this was so big of Danielle, especially really because Danielle did not say that much last night that we saw. Yep. But I think this is the right thing to do, is just to clear the air. Especially because Amanda like was crying and upset too. Like this is just a good friend thing to do. I do think it is weird that Amanda didn't realize that anybody would be upset that they were fighting.
Yeah, because I was upset and I wasn't even there.
Exactly. I'm like, all right, Amanda, we need a little bit of self-awareness too. Like if you're a couple in the house, it does change the dynamic.
It does. Okay, so then other Lindsay shows Carl the whiskey she brought him.
This is so fucking weird.
Carl just goes, wow, this is so fucking nice. Like
who shows up to Luau and brings a nice whiskey?
I don't know what's weird though about Kyle saying like, instead of being like, oh my God, this is so nice, he's like, this Carl, is so
you always switch their names up and I love it.
Fucking damn it. Carl loves to swear is my point. And I love to swear, but it felt weird in this situation. So then Carl tells other Lindsay how the house and the relationships have been changing a lot and stressing him out. But other Lindsay just brings great amount
of, a producer was like, I need you to hit some beats. Please go talk to your girl, Lindsay.
Hey, other Lindsay. I know you've only been here for 5 minutes.
But it's been a tough few days, and I'm just so grateful for you.
As you know, all the relationships I've had in this summer house have changed. I tell you about it all the time. but you bring so much positivity into my life. Let's
Thank you for
make
this.
out on camera again.
The weirdest makeout I've ever seen on camera.
I hate it because the cameraman has to be right there. He has to be. The angles they get of this couple is horrifying.
This is why I don't like other Lindsay. I'm like, come on, girl. Like, bring some like fun themed items. Like,
I think she's like so okay with being on camera that I don't like that. I need some
she feels
discomfort from her.
very pageant queen.
Like a clout chaser.
Like, remember Gabby, like, will just sit there, Amit's friend,
Yeah.
just sits there and is on camera and may say
Gabby
3
doesn't
words.
speak.
Yeah. Let alone bring gifts, weird ass gifts to the house.
Weird. It's all weird. Okay, so Sunday, 4 p.m. Lauren finds out Pace is single. She's fucking thrilled. It's time to go to Greece. But then we see Danielle also flirting with Pace and basically is like, get my number, Pace.
I love a good love triangle. Pace is cute. I'm wondering who's going to win this.
Hot.
Yeah.
I love how these two have the same taste in men and have gone out on a double date with men that look identical.
Yes.
So basically, they're both going to end up with the same man. They should just be sister wives.
They're in a throuple in my mind.
Kyle grabs the mic then. I love the friend that yells, oh my he's God. Proposing.
Kyle's like, fuck you.
Shut up.
I mean, I was like, oh, just kidding. What? Never.
We're waiting for Greece.
We are waiting.
We're waiting for Greece. Kyle introduces the band. What is it? Fly at midnight? Fly by midnight?
I have no idea, but this band's lit. Like, people are thrilled. I'm
Fly by midnight. I wrote rock out Fly by midnight.
Oh, good God. It looks fun. I would love to be at this party.
Fun. This is like upbeat, fun dance music, but not like too dancey that it becomes house music. It's like very fun.
Yes. I mean, live bands are epic.
So good.
10 out of 10 recommend them for weddings.
So good. Travis and Steven enjoy like a quiet time on the porch together, just drinking.
I love this.
They're very cute.
I love it that like Travis says like, I'm done with my drink. How are you not done? And Steven's like, I've been drinking for a while. And Travis goes, me too.
Yeah, they're both drunk and they're probably, we find out, gonna date in the fall. I
hope so. I ship this couple so hard.
I do too. Let's go back to our sister wives. Lauren tells Kyle that Pace is hot and is like, can we go on a double date? And Kyle's like, fuck yeah, we can go on a double date.
Would love to see this. I'm sad this is our last episode.
I know. So then Amanda and Kyle jump into the pool with the band. This is when we get Lauren saying she actually supports Kyle and Amanda together and wants them to sort out their issues and be happy, which I think is fair.
I agree. I don't think anybody wants them to break up. I think people are over the fights fighting they're having.
Yeah. So it's time to keep drinking. Pace now has to leave. And Danielle and Lauren are both there to say goodbye. And that's when they find out they've been hitting on the same guy. Ooh. And then they're like, ooh, who are you going to pick, Pace? And I think he says something along the lines of like, well, I have Danielle's number. And Lauren's like, you got her number?
Damn.
Fair game, Danielle.
Damn. You know what? A gracious loser, though. All in good fun.
I was afraid Lauren was going to be like, take my number also. And I was going to be like, oh, bad. It's so awkward.
You know what? I weirdly feel like Lauren has great respect for herself up front. But once she catches feelings is where she like lets guys.
Oh, cool. Yeah, she doesn't have feelings for Pace yet. No, not like they were going to Greece together or anything.
We're not there yet.
So it's Sunday, 7:20 p.m. Other Lindsay doesn't know why Carl has to be so good looking, and he doesn't know either.
I hate them so much.
Steven and Travis kiss in front of everyone.
I loved that. I loved it so much. People are like, oh, first fight. And of course, Steven's like, let's make it awkward. I hate when people do this shit to me, but I love it in this moment.
I would watch. I'd be Lauren, who's like, ooh, tongue. I loved it. And Travis calls Steven babe. So it's like so super cute. Romantic.
It's legit for real.
So it's Sunday, 9:20. everyone's gone. Thank God. Steven was about to go yell at them through his blowhorn. Is that what it's called? A megaphone.
Megaphone.
Through the
bullhorn. Bullhorn is what you're thinking.
Bullhorn, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Blowhorn is just me being
No, those
dumb.
are those really long ones, I think.
Oh.
Like the
Yay. Okay. Through the megaphone, but we don't need to use it. Party was a success even after the bonfire night they had. Pats on the back for everyone, but let's keep turning up.
I love when they party in the living room.
I love this. And Lindsay at some point goes, what are they saying in Hawaii? Hakuna Matata, bitches. And I was like, that's a made up word. And it was Africa. But
yeah,
okay.
It's the Lion King. It's not like it was in like Lilo and Stitch.
Hakuna Matata. And it's a made up word. It's
Is
not
it really
real.
made up?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It means no worries. It's just from the Lion King.
It means nothing, but we say it means
nothing.
no worries.
In Hawaii, it probably means something different.
God.
But whatever. It's time to jump in the pool. Time to jam out with your clam out. Time to rock out with your cock out.
I love this. I love
naked, baby.
That we're gonna jump in the pool, and it just, what a way to end the summer, you know?
I love everyone being naked. It's a fun time.
Okay. I don't really care if people are naked or not, but I like that this is now becoming a tradition.
It's a tradition.
Housemates only, last night of the year. Let's swim.
That's how we end. So now it's Monday, 9 a.m. Everyone's waking up. Amanda's breath smells like a bad Italian restaurant. Oof. Rough. The Warkises and Brad are leaving for Greece, and Brad is in charge of breakfast again.
Oh my God. He has to get all the suitcases. He has to give up half of his suitcase too, because the ladies are overpacking, of course, and he has to make breakfast. And Brad does it all with no complaining. He's like,
this is a man that can handle two Workis sisters.
I feel like he realized, I do not want to be near the packing. I'm happy to make breakfast.
I just love how he's like, Ashley goes, you're gonna make breakfast, right? And he's like, yeah. And Lauren goes, 2 fried eggs. And he goes, okay. Like, he's like,
and then they're like, oh, and the bacon and the toast. They're like shouting out the order as he's like leaving.
He's like, ladies, I've been around enough. I know.
I know the order.
I know your order. Ashley and Lauren are so happy to be back together, and they love the Hamptons. Stephen, though, is very sad to say goodbye to the Warkises as they go to Greece. Stephen hasn't called his mom yet. He's not prepared. He's very hungover, but he can't avoid it. So he'll call her in the city.
Okay.
So we're never gonna know.
No, yeah, I'm pissed we don't like wrap this up and get like a diary session of Stephen saying what happened.
Nope. The Warkises are heading out. It's been a year of distance for the twins. It's been hard, but good for Lauren. She's not dating Carl anymore. Thank fucking God. Ashley couldn't be happier.
Dude, if it was good for Lauren, then Ashley wouldn't have had to come this summer and rescue Lauren without a backbone.
I just love that Ashley's like, this year of distance was not that hard on me. It was great for Lauren, though, because fuck Carl, basically.
I love how they also say earlier, they're like, we need to go more than 3 weeks without seeing each other. And Lauren's like, yeah, like, I need to do work things. I'm like, oh my God.
I love them. They love each other so much.
Let's get to the 2-month marker of not seeing each other.
Never.
And like, good luck, ladies.
We haven't even made it 1 month yet. So Carl goes outside when Steven's like trying to wrap up the floaties, because those are all Steven's floaties. And Carl's trying to talk to him, and Steven's like either blatantly ignoring him, or this is edited to look horrible.
I couldn't tell, because then by the time Carl says that comment, when he's like, he really flopped on him, Steven goes, what? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell. But then Carl asked Steven to have a chat, which we all love, because in Bravo, this means we're going to discuss something serious.
Yeah, this is going to be awkward, and we're finally going to get to the meat and potatoes.
So Carl says, it's been hard to move on from Steven telling that story about him. You know, the best head he ever got was from a guy. So Carl wants to understand what the motive was to tell that. And Steven told Lauren, because he was in a weird place being friends with both Carl and Lauren at the time, and he felt like he had to pick. which I didn't understand. I think we're missing a big chunk of the conversation
I
because
agree.
I thought Carl told Lauren this while they were dating. Why would he
No,
have to pick?
Carl didn't tell Lauren.
Or no, Steven told Lauren while Carl and Lauren were dating.
Yes,
That's
so
what
I think
meant.
so. Carl tells Steven, and Steven probably feels like this is information Lauren needs to know.
Oh,
But I don't think it is, because we talked about that this story seems like it came from a while ago. If this story happened, like, let's say even a month with him and starting to date, or I don't know, maybe even in the fall while they were never exclusive, but like while things were definitely more casual, I understand Steven saying like, oh, he feels like Lauren needs to know that information. But this seems like a story from a while ago. So I don't really think that explanation is valid.
yeah, I agree. But okay, so Steven does apologize for telling Lauren. Carl acknowledges that he lied to Lauren, and Steven understands why he did. And Carl still cares about Steven and knows that he could have been a better friend to Steven. And this is when Steven says that when he lets people in, he has a lot of expectations, and he thought Carl would meet those, which is kind of harsh. Because I think we do all have expectations for
100%.
friends, but I think also we forget that we need to be most forgiving towards the people we love the most.
Or like vocal
Hardest.
about what your needs are. Like Steven
Yeah,
has never had a conversation with Carl
that's
outside
true.
of pride. About like, in a sense, what has pissed off Steven this summer and how Carl has not been meeting his expectations as a friend. People are
That's
not
very true.
mind
Mind
readers.
readers.
My therapist always says, like, yes, there's a gate of entry to be your friend, and you can change the gate at any time. Like, you can change what you're willing to accept at any time. But you can't just expect when you change, I'll say, what you need, or even if what you need has always been the same, if you've never expressed that to your friends, if they're not reaching that potential, I'll say, then like you need to have those conversations. That's just not fair to expect all these things from them, and if they don't reach them, just to ice them out.
Agreed.
I'm leaving this more on Team Carl at the end of the summer.
I am too, a little, well, actually a lot. So we'll finish up the conversation. So Steven wants to believe Carl is genuine, and we'll just see. So they wish each other the best, and hopefully they can hang out in the fall. And so this is where I'm like, so Steven told Carl's secret, which ultimately made me team Carl, because I don't think it was Steven's conversation to have. Then Steven's kind of harsh because he keeps saying like Carl's not being a good friend, but you're right. If he doesn't like say his needs, how's Carl supposed to know?
Yeah, all Steven does is throw little jabs.
Yeah,
so like, why would Carl want to be nice to you?
Yeah, and Carl apologizes and says like I still love and care about you. And Steven just basically is like, we'll see if I
think
accept
Carl's
you
very
again.
genuine.
Yeah, I thought I was kind of sad for Carl. Like he's basically reaching out a giant olive tree to Steven, and he's like, thanks for the leaf.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
I think Carl definitely fucks up, but like what friend doesn't? You said, they like every friend needs to be forgiving. I think when Carl is presented with things he's done wrong, it does feel remorse. He may not fully change, but what person does? And so you either just need to accept him at where he is, or to be honest, then Steven just needs to move on and stop like throwing a pity party and just truly move on from this friendship, which I think is what's going to happen.
Well, on the plus side, Steven has learned not to be ashamed of his sexuality, and he's very proud of himself, and we support this gay queen.
Yes. I mean, we did get the queen outfit last night in the house party. I mean,
with the megaphone.
Chef's kiss, I just love it.
So now it's time to leave, and everyone says goodbye, and I don't know why I was sad, but I was sad.
Goodbyes I don't do. So these types of things always make me feel uncomfortable.
I always Irish goodbye. So
I leaving like a night or a party, I'm happy to say goodbye. Leaving like a situation like this, I would be first one to wake up and I would walk out that door. So I did not have to do this type of thing.
Oh,
that's how I left college.
Oh my God.
I can't do it. It makes me so uncomfortable.
I want everyone to love me. But it was really sad. But we've made it to the end of summer. Meredith, it is time to do our last of the season. Fun and not fun. And then I will tell you how our predictions turned out and who was
Man.
most fun and who was most not fun this summer.
This is tricky. This episode's really hard because I do feel like everybody had a pretty great episode individually.
I have my fun, but I almost want to land on a positive. So I want to do
Okay.
not fun first.
Okay.
And I think I have my not fun. Are you ready?
Yeah.
My not fun, I think, is going to be Steven.
Okay.
Just based off of, what happened with the conversation with Carl. I didn't totally love or support it because I think he's being a little harsh. And I think if he is setting up those boundaries, he needs to follow through and not continue to be harsh on someone that he should just let go.
Yeah. Yeah, he either needs to let go or accept it as the price of entry.
But I'm proud of him and his sexuality.
Yes. I know. That's why I think Steven had such a great episode like earlier. And so
Yeah.
but I'm gonna have to pick Steven too. Like
Ooh.
he kind of sandwiched in the not fun, like the two breads, and then like obviously his stuff with Travis, like you just said, is really fun, and I'm so happy for him in that way. But like him and the work is Storm, they constantly like will not let things go, and it's kind of frustrating. Like we couldn't just have a good night at the beach. Like I understand people want to stick up for themselves and make sure they're not the problem, but sometimes it's just better to have a good night with your roommates than to be right. And I feel like Steven constantly wants to be right, and Carl kind of said that after the beach fight. It's Steven's way or the highway. And then at the end, it's just frustrating that he still looks at Carl as the problem for the sole problem of their friendship.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we got the sadness out of the way. Let's do happy.
Oh man.
My most fun is Carl.
Oh.
I think Carl had a really good episode. Listen, I know he's hanging out with other Lindsay, which like isn't great, but if you look at it, he got
but that's why other Lindsay isn't fun.
Yeah, he dropped the bullying term, which I don't love, but I love for Bravo. He stood up for the couple that he really supports, which I gotta respect. He stood up to the Workuses. He got that whiskey. He got a make out from other Lindsay. He confronted his issues with Steven head on.
Yep.
And he didn't get yelled at by any. I think he just was like a fun guy.
I love that. I love that.
I support.
I'm gonna give it to Kyle. He's defending his relationship at the beach there. At the Luau party, he's hanging with Amanda, having a great time, all around fun. And before the party, when they went to lunch, you know what? We love some accountability and apologies when we screw up. And I appreciate that from him. And I really love that he bought Grease tickets. I mean, I'm in. Say when and where.
Great. Okay. So at the beginning of the season, we predicted who would be fun or who would be most fun and most not fun.
Yep.
So have the numbers.
Okay.
Meredith, you thought fun or most fun would be Steven, and I thought most fun would be Lindsay.
Oh, I was so wrong, I bet.
Okay. And then I'll do both the predictions first.
Wait, no, just tell us who's fun.
Do fun.
Yeah. I'll track that better personally.
We have a tie for most fun.
Okay.
It's a two-way tie between Kyle and Lindsay.
Oh,
so I was right.
Nice.
I think I just like Lindsay. I'm sure I just kept picking her.
You know what? Anything is better than her with Everett. So I feel like the bar was low for her to have fun.
It was great. And Kyle, I'm surprised about because
you know what? He's Mr. Send It though. Like he has a good time. There was one time you said like he's a shitty person, but he had so much fun and you had to give it to him.
Fun. You're right. He's just a lot of fun. Okay. And then our predictions for most not fun. You picked Kyle and I picked Carl.
Okay.
And we were both wrong.
Was it Lorne or Steven?
It was Steven.
Yeah, I kind of saw that.
He was most not fun. Second place though was Lindsay, so she was on both ends.
Man, oh Lordy.
What a good season.
I like have the biggest smile on my face. I love this show.
Too. I love this show.
The parties, the themes, the sending it, the rosé, the cast, the house, everything about
I
it.
know. Well, be sure to rate, review, but subscribe because we're gonna have tons more summer house content coming up.
Absolutely. We're doing all the seasons, and then we, like Alicia said at the beginning, have the most recent live season coming in the fall.
Amazing. You're gonna love it.
Thanks, guys.